Hey there, we are gonna do an oldie but a goodie. This was originally a door hanger, but I'm gonna do a shelf sitter with it today. So, because then you can see how it was painted and everything too. First, we're gonna start with, I use fragrance-free, I'm getting out of them. I get them at Costco, baby wipes. And I'm going to do I call it the baby wipe method. First though, we're gonna put, so this is just painter's tape on the back, and then I just tape it down. It makes it easy for me. I'm gonna put all my little, so all of these are gonna be the same color. So we'll put them all on here. And the little hands are gonna be all the same too. It's just easier for me, so then I don't have to be, I cover myself in paint enough. So we'll set that aside. I'm actually gonna do, I think, the egg first, just so then it has time to dry. I was using hot glue the other day. Oh my goodness. You actually have to have some skill in order to run a hot glue gun. No joke. Okay, so I'm taking white flour. I get asked this all the time. I'm sorry if it's a repeat for those that have seen my videos before, but I use Home Depot paint samples. I get them in the sample size. They fit perfectly in those bottles, and that's why. And then the color just so happens to be a Sherwin-Williams color. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my baby wipe, ignore all the other colors because I've been painting, and all I'm doing is just kind of patting it off. I don't want globs on there because I have score lines. In this case, none of them are going to be seen. It's just so then you know for placement, but future, that's what it's for. So I'm going to try to go with the grain. And this will be seen, so I kind of want to, and we'll come back, and I think I'm going to do some shading and stuff, so hopefully this won't be too big of a deal if I get some close in there. Sorry if I'm moving the camera. So I'm just getting up to that line there. And if I go over, it's okay. We'll fix her up. I did leave 2 holes in there because I think I'm gonna do, just grabbing some more paint, I think I'm going to put a bow through there. So to tie the bow on, I thought that'd be kind of cute. I know, I still have tons of Valentine's Day stuff that I need to get done. I am definitely a squirrel. I'm all over the place. I have some cute stuff coming up. Well, I think it's cute, that I need to get done. I guess maybe, I don't know. I wish I could find somebody that would paint my stuff, because I just don't always have the time, and then the inspiration for colors. I'm not the greatest for colors. So then maybe sometimes I'm kind of not dreading doing it because I know it'll be cute, but I'm not very good with colors. I'm just kind of going over a little bit again. And I'm going to set it aside. Hopefully I can get it to dry here. Okay, actually, let's bring it back up because then I can get to the middle part. So I'm going with Mariner blue color. I kind of like it. I was trying to find colors that would kind of go with my ribbon that I'm using. So that's kind of where we went with that. I'm working on maybe if, like the door hanger piece has like this, it's actually a cutout piece and then you insert the letters. I don't know why I didn't do it that way, but this is how it ended up. And so I'm wondering if that would maybe be easier for people instead of trying to, I don't like intricate painting. I actually used to be I only ever spray painted until I found wonderful ladies, Rhonda and Casey at Peach and Valley. Absolutely love them. They were the originals that really inspired painting for me. So if you can go and find them. I know they're not doing their member thing right now, but they're just amazing ladies. And then also Chris at the Sawdust Makery is absolutely been another inspiration for me. Okay, so there's that. So now let's move on to, I mean, really this will be kind of a quick paint. Let's do the letters only because I think they're gonna take 2 coats. So I just use makeup sponges. I don't have the bag handy. I got these on Amazon. I like that they are more of a dense, and the ones at the Dollar Tree no longer, they're too porous. So I'm gonna use Bohemian Black, and I'm just gonna come in with my sponge and I'm gonna, I guess, load it up, as you could say. And then I'm gonna go and do my letters. And again, if you wanna do different colors, please do different colors. I love to see what you guys come up with. There's several ladies out there that are just amazing. Laura is one of them. Just are so creative in all the different things that you come up with. I just love it. So, that might be enough. I don't know, we'll see. We'll let that dry. Okay, while I've got this over here, I'm going to take hot cocoa and I'm gonna find a clean spot on my baby wipe, and I am just going to grab a little bit of that. And I don't wanna go really heavy with this, so I'll probably take some off when I get it on there. This is all scored. So I know those look kind of like they were engraved, but I just added several lines so then it is scored. I like quick. So. And there's a line there because that's gonna be behind the bunny, or behind the egg, sorry. Okay, and we need to do the ears, so let me grab some more. And again, try to stay with the grain, I guess. And by all means, if you want to make this bigger, I would suggest these little score lines. I would make them, not these ones, but these little, for the stitch, I would make them cut. So then, because otherwise you'll get like the little middles in there, and I don't like that when I'm trying to paint. And then, so I'm just taking some of this off. Oh, but make sure it's clean. A clean section, not white. There. So it doesn't get in the score lines or anything. I love it. So yeah, I would suggest, definitely, if you're gonna make it any bigger, do it to cut. I don't think I have anything around that I could show you what that looks like. Actually, I do. This is gonna be another little project. So see, then it was just a little bit bigger, and so I made them cut. But they just look really nice. So that's another project. Let's add one more little coat to our letters. hopefully I'm gonna swap these out so then hopefully they dry, because I'd like to add a little shading. I can't have my fan going because you would never be able to hear me, and I don't have heat up here yet. I want to add a little bit more, I think. I'm going to do one more time with all of this, and hopefully the other piece then will be ready. So I'm going to go back and add that white flower again. So cross your fingers, guys. We've got like, I don't even want to jinx myself, but we have over 100 eggs in the incubator. So I hope they have, we have a good hatch for chicks. I know we're crazy. Chicken math is real. My baby just turned 14 today, so all she wanted was steam buns, so we went to Vancouver and had steam buns. I can't believe it. I've got one graduating from college in May, and then I've got another one graduating from high school this year as well. Oh, I'm just super blessed. So, and then I do have an older son. He's 26 and he's a fishing guide in Minnesota, so yeah, crazy. I just can't believe she's 14 already. So I'm going back with the Mariner color, and I'm just adding another, trying to add another little coat here. And you could go in with paint markers. This might be too big of a space to do that, but, or just paint it. You could paint it with just a brush, that would be fine too. I just kind of like this method because it, for me, usually it dries faster. And then I do kind of like that the wood grain kind of seeps through a little bit. So, oh, and then I'm trying to mess this up. So, back to my spot there. So my daughter asked me to make a couple graduation things, so you'll probably see in the future some graduation stuff coming up too, just because I usually do some stuff in the sand. I don't go crazy in the honey sand. Okay, so I'm gonna set that again to dry. I know it doesn't look like it changed very much, but I think it did. And let's see if this is dry enough to, not really, but we'll make it work. Sorry, my fingers are like ice. So I am going to, is it drier than that? No. Do Turkish coffee. And I would highly suggest you make sure that it's dry. I know somebody had mentioned getting a little drier, but and the reason I sand in between, if you're using MDF, you don't have to, but since I'm using birch ply, when the wood gets wet, the little fibers stick up. So, and if I'm gonna go back and do shading, I like to have it a smooth surface so I get a good shade. Don't mind me, just blowing out the little things. Okay, so for the new people, let's do, I'll try to get this in camera. It's, my shading isn't the best. You know what? Let's do something different tonight, just because I don't think I've ever done it on camera, and I want to make sure everybody knows a couple different ways if the brush version doesn't do well with you. So what I'm going to do is actually go back to my makeup sponge. And I don't know if I said that I do have a link if you want the link for the makeup sponge. And we're going to do a little bit of shading with the sponge. So all I'm going to do is pick up, I got Turkish coffee on here. I'm going to pick up some Turkish coffee. Just very little. I might need a little more than that. And I'm going to really, blot it off here. Get it good. And then I'm going to come to the edge of my piece. Let's start here just so, yeah. And so I don't move the camera so much. And all I'm doing is just going, and I kind of want it up a little bit more, and you could do a little bit less, you could do a little bit more. And if you can see, and now I know that there are like distressing pens and stuff like that, but I don't always want to clear seal my items, so I might just, that's why I use acrylic. I like to use the acrylic paints when I'm doing this, because I just think that, I'm gonna go on and grab some more. Then I don't have to seal it. And if you are gonna seal it and you do use your, what are they called? The distressing pens or whatever, you can do the same thing. You just put it on the makeup sponge and do the same thing. If you do happen to do it that way, Rust-Oleum ×2 I find is really good for sealing, and that's what I seal like my porch sitters and that sort of stuff, because I find with some other stuff it turns my whites yellow. So hopefully you can see that. So that's another way of getting in there and adding a little shading. So hopefully that, let's see, we'll take these pieces off. And I do need to shade all, sorry, I'm trying not to shake the camera. Shade all the way around. So this is just another option. If you want to do the paintbrush method, go right ahead. Just trying to give you some tools in your tool belt. And if you don't want to do shading, you don't have to do shading. You could actually make these, if you didn't want to, you could maybe paint them a little bit darker and then sand it off. And then the sanding would give it a nice roughed up edge. Hopefully you can see that, sorry. Just grabbing a little bit more. And you can come further up on here too, if that isn't like, if you're not getting it shaded enough. It's just to add another little dimension to your project. It's not, doesn't need to be perfect. I used to be like a perfectionist. Well, I tried to be. I was just learning, and when we were, I was part of a sewing guild, and I would try to get my points together when you're sewing, and the gal that was teaching us, I absolutely love her, Maria. I miss her so much. It's not about perfection. Like you want to get your project done, and because I would keep undoing it, and yeah. So anyways, she's the one that taught me that it's not about perfection. We're almost done, guys. With this part at least. It's part of the sponge. So, I mean, that was pretty painless. So, and that was with the makeup sponge. Let's see here. I am going to rough these up just a little bit, just to give them a little, I actually stuck the dot. I don't know if you can see that. I don't normally do that, but this was kind of a littler project, so I figured everybody would lose it in their crumb tray, so just trying to be nice. I sometimes, like if I'm going to have little dots, I'll leave it on the crumb tray and then grab it with tape. But I'm kind of being delicate here just because it was thinner pieces, and so then when I pull it off too, I'm going to try to be delicate. I just don't want to break anything. But so there, I just roughed it up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna leave those on so I don't lose them, because that would be the next thing. I think this is okay. So again, I'm just gonna give this a little sanding. Okay, so now we're gonna do, I'll show you some shading, what I normally do. I mean, I do both, but this, I'll show you on the egg how I did that, because I want to get in here too. So any angled brush works, and I've got enough paint on here, so I'll bring this in so I can show you. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, this is just my wet, I'm trying to find a clean spot, baby wipe, and or you could just use a damp towel, paper towel. I'm going to dip and wake up my brush, I guess you could say, into the water, and I'm going to grab just a bit, I'm gonna move this off to the side. And these, just while I have it, I always cut the ends off and keep going. I have all different sizes, so you can see that I like cut them in thirds sometimes, depends on the project, but I keep recycling them over and over. Okay, back to this. So, my wet brush, I'm gonna dip just the tip in, okay? And there you can see just the tip. And now I'm gonna try to find a clean spot on my plate here. And all I want to do is just kind of do a little bit of an ombre and bring it down. And as I bring it down, it's getting lighter and lighter. And I'm probably going to need some more water, but we'll try it. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just go to the edge of the piece. And I can already tell it needs more water. So I'm going to dip in, grab some more water, and there's probably still paint on my brush. And I'm just kind of going along here. And you can add as much as you want. I'm going to go right back into this, or as little as you want. Or you don't have to do it at all. You could paint this like a more solid white again. You could pre-paint your boards too, and if you're gonna do many of them, and so then pre-paint your boards like a solid white, and then I would do the backer at the same time. And I usually do like a Turkish coffee. And then you can, if it was more of a solid, then you could just sand it, and there it would be done. I know there's better brushes out there that hold the water better. If you find them, let me know. I still haven't opened the pack that I got on my Amazon finds. I should try them. The end of the brush, I need to cut it off because it's like a mile long, and if I try to do a tutorial with them, they'll be bumping the camera. So I just went and grabbed some more. And I'm just gonna keep going all the way around. And like if you get too much in one spot, that's why I'm going back. So there's that. And it just gives it a little touch. And I'm gonna come in, go back to the spot, and I'm gonna go right in here. I kind of waited a second just so then it was a little bit dry, because if you go over like this part that I just did, it would take it off, so you don't really want to do that. Just giving it another little dimension. Grab some more. And see, you can't probably see it on the camera, but I was able to cover up some little over painting that I did. So, there. Maybe just because I have some white out already, maybe I'll do some white on this one just because. You could probably do a little dry brushing too. You're not gonna be able to see it here. I'll show you on my hand. But you could probably do a little dry brushing across there just to give it a little. I'm just trying to think if that's what I should do. I never have a plan going into this. Maybe I'll do a little, try to find a little, this is kind of big. I'm not sure if it's gonna be, and just grab a little, it's not gonna take much. And then just kind of really getting it off. And then maybe just a little. And you could even tap it for some extra texture or not do this at all. Like, it's up to you. It's kind of a small space to try to do it. Maybe ruin my project, we'll see. Maybe the words will hide it. There you go. There's another idea. Okay. So, I think we are at the point where we can start adding some stuff. Let's do, I'm using, I get lots of questions about this too. It's Art Glitter Glue. This is a huge bottle, but I put it down into these little bottles, so then I'm able to like do intricate. What I like about the Art Glitter Glue is it dries clear, and then it gives me time to maneuver and move things around. And I do like, what's it called? Like thick and quick. I do like that, but it's, once it's down, it's done. So it's kind of challenging for me. Is this gonna be plugged? So let's get out my trusty little pin. It doesn't normally if I have the lid on. Don't worry, I'm gonna tap this off too. I've got a fly or something that's bugging me. Okay, so it's kind of gloppy on there, so I'm just gonna tap it off to the side here and then go in, and I gave you lines. They are smaller than the words, so they should not stick out, but it's just to help you. I always need a guide. So there's the hello. And now we'll start doing these little ones. Again, I'm just going to tap it off. You can fast forward. We're getting pretty small here. Sorry for boring you with my letters. The lines help so much. Okay, yay. I see a hair, sorry. So this was a big seller last year. On the door hanger one, it has, there's many different sayings. So, but this was the biggest seller. So I have a little outline here for the little hand. So I just need to, it's kind of, you got to kind of line up the little edge there. I wanted it to look like it was coming over the side. And these, you gotta kind of line up with the bottom so it stands. If that makes sense. Sorry, I wish I could have music or something so I'm not boring you to death. Okay, we're getting closer. So then this would be the time that you would put on, I actually will finish the back. So I gave you slot sizes. and I gave multiple different sizes for different types. I would recommend putting it up just a little bit like that and then putting it on. So then when it sits like that, then it kind of sits back a little bit and it's not going to be right straight up and down. So that's what I recommend for that. Okay, so then the ears, the idea is to put them on and then, so the holes are gonna come through and then to tie the bow on. So while this is gonna be drying, then we're going to attempt to make a bow. Again, no real plan, just gonna wing it. I think this is so cute. Okay, so I am grabbing, I think this is, let me see what this is. Celebrated, where would that have been from? Maybe Dollar Tree? I don't know, but it's 2.5 inch. By all means, you use what you have. This is what I had, and this is kind of where I got the color from. So I just thought it would be cute to have some raffia in it. So I just have a bundle of raffia. I just happened to just cut off a hunk and okay, so what I was thinking, and I don't know if this is even going to be cute. So I don't know, what would this be? Like 6 inches maybe? Whatever size you want it to be on your little bunny. And then I was just thinking, like, scrunch it up and just super simple, guys. I'm not a bow maker. And then I just grabbed a chunk of raffia, and we can cut this back so it's not so big once we get it all tied up. But what I wanted to do is, and then this is just a piece of jute. What I wanted to do was just put that together, put the jute down, and tie it. And hopefully we get it kind of centered. Okay, let's see if we can get this. I'm just knotting it again. And I went with this because it was wired, so then I could kind of flex it and give it a little oomph. I don't even know if this is going to be too big, but okay. Then what I wanted to do is, let's see if I can cut off another. So this is my bundle. It came in a 2-pack. I know you can get it from Dollar Tree as well. Let me just cut off a little hunk here. I'm gonna be sad because it's not even close to where it should be starting. And what I was kind of thinking was I kind of wanted this to be the center. That's what I was thinking. So I'm just tying it. You guys, we're winging it. I don't know. Okay, so then we'll kind of hide that back there. We still have our strings. There's my other string. Still have our strings. Okay, so then, oh, and you know what I should do too before I get too crazy? You did not see me do this, and I am not responsible if anything happens. If you burn down something, come on. Oh, Okay, maybe my lighter's out. Anyways, I would burn the ends just so then it doesn't fray. So, okay, I'm thinking that's kind of cute. It maybe is going to be way too big for my project, but we're just going to see here. So what I was thinking when I did the holes like this is to run them through here. Might be crazy, but we're going to try it. Sorry. To run the holes through here. And if you have a better way to do it, by all means, I don't know. We're just winging it. Oh my gosh. And maybe, like, too, if you didn't want to see this little knot in the back, you could do it the other way and actually then tie it off and hide it in the front. So that would work too. Just saying. Just talking out loud here. But, oh goodness, I think this is cute. It might be a little much, but I think it's cute. I am going to trim these up a little bit because they kind of are crazy. I'm going to leave some long, some short, so it is a little sporadic. This side's really crazy. I'd love to hear what you think of this one. I think it's so cute. So I'm gonna get pictures of it and then I'll get it listed. But what do you guys think of that? All right, well, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. I know the lettering was kind of boring. Like I said, I have a couple more things coming up. I'll try to maybe do a little bit of Easter and a little bit of Valentine's Day. I do have a couple things that I was planning on doing for St. Patrick's Day. So, all right. Well, I hope you